And I think I have the power to end this war. And I think it's going very well. But today I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land, everything, almost all of the land, and no people would have been killed, and no city would have been demolished, and not one dome would have been knocked down. But they chose not to do it that way.
In a controversial statement, U.S. President Donald Trump has blamed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for the ongoing war in Ukraine. His remarks came after Ukraine was excluded from recent peace talks in Saudi Arabia, where the U.S. and Russia discussed possible resolutions to the nearly 3-year-long conflict. Speaking at a press conference, Trump questioned why Zelensky had not already ended the war, suggesting that Ukraine should have negotiated with Russia earlier. Zelensky, on the other hand, expressed his frustration over being excluded from the negotiations, arguing that any deal made without Ukraine's involvement would be unacceptable. Trump further defended his stance, claiming that Russia wants to end the war and that ongoing violence is leading to thousands of casualties every week. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio dismissed concerns that Ukraine was being sidelined. He emphasized that Kyiv would be consulted in future discussions. European allies have voiced their concerns over Ukraine's exclusion from the talks, warning that any peace agreement made without Kyiv's direct involvement may not be sustainable. As the war continues with no clear resolution in sight, the international community watches closely. Will diplomatic efforts lead to a lasting peace, or will Ukraine's exclusion from key negotiations create further instability? Only time will tell.